Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. Would love to hear your wins for this week. If you've got any of them to share straight away, let us celebrate you. My schedule has been jam-packed today with epic wins, so many student sessions and new enrollments into the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab this week, but I absolutely had to make time today to come and join you guys for today's live session because this is a topic that I'm just continuously being asked about. It's one that I've helped so many of my own private students about. It's honestly probably something that most people don't even talk about just like for free like this. It's probably in most people's paid content, but I don't see it shared about that much publicly, and I think it's a really big issue that needs to be overcome. So for any of y'all who are tuning in for the first time, I'm Lana. I'm the founder of the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab. I'm a full-time lucid dreaming and lucid living coach, and I love sharing on topics all about consciousness, lucid dreaming, lucid living, living your best life, and just connecting with each other, relationships, all the good things. So say hi in the comments if you're here with me live. This is going to be interactive between us today. I'm going to be asking you guys questions, so don't be shy, speak out, let me know where you're tuning in from, let me know if you're celebrating something today, or give me a hashtag replay if you're watching this on catch up, as I'd still love to connect with you as well. So let's dive into the juice. What do you do if your spouse or your family member or your bestie or whoever is not on board with your big dreams? Give me an I have in the comments if you've experienced this, just flat out, if you've had one of these kinds of experiences where someone's not totally on board. Maybe they don't believe in it at all. Maybe they don't support it as much because they know that it's like a financial investment that you need to make. Maybe they don't really understand like spiritual practices or transpersonal practices, or they think what your vision is kind of a load of mumbo jumbo. They think it's a stupid idea, or maybe they even just gave you this kind of look or this vibration when you started bringing up your big goal or your vision that just told you all you needed to know about their opinion on what you're looking to dream into creation. For whatever reason, they ain't on board with what you're dreaming in. And my answer to this is very simple. Stop discussing it with those people. All right, thanks for coming to my live session. Just kidding, I'm gonna go through the whole thing. Kind of kidding, but kind of not. Like, that is one of the main points. It is kind of really that simple at the base level of it. Not everyone's gonna be on board with what it is you wanna do, with your big dreams, with your big goals, with your big visions. In fact, unfortunately, probably most people won't be. Especially if they're an older family member who maybe isn't as knowledgeable on kind of the new online era of business, entrepreneurship, creating conscious connections, or maybe it's your spouse or one of your friends who has their own money mindset issues, or they've never ran a business before and they don't see the potential with that. Of course, then they're gonna have hesitations with what you're doing. It's not because you shouldn't do it though. It's really them expressing their own kind of fears, their own concerns, and maybe projecting a little bit of that onto you. And usually this comes from a place of love, not hating on anyone who doesn't agree with you, right? They maybe don't want you to get burnt. They don't want you to invest in something that's not going to be worth it and have you lose money. But it's actually really unhelpful when you're in that place where you're super excited about something that you're dreaming into creation, where you're like really looking for that support system and those people who can be around you to like get you pumped up, to celebrate each step of the journey, especially when this is something that's like tugging on your heart and you know you're gonna go forward and do it anyway, whether they're on board or not. It can really suck when people are kind of killing your vision, when they're killing your dream. They are dream killers in that sense. When this is something that's gonna transform your life, when it's executed well, in the lives of so many other people too, you wanna share it. You want people around you to be excited. So my real answer in the basic form is this, that you need to get real steadfast on just believing so deeply in yourself and in what that vision is. Because the more you believe in yourself, two major things are gonna have a massive shift. One is that the less you care about anyone else's opinion about what it is that you can do and you can achieve, especially when you know that you can, then it's not as much of a problem for you, right? You kind of start just shifting into that self-worth at a different level. But the irony of this kind of dilemma is that the more you believe in yourself, the more other people actually get on board with believing in you as well. When I first started creating some of my bigger dreams and my visions, like running lucid dreaming retreats around the world, when I started sharing about wanting to own retreat centers where people could do this for like weeks at a time, or having this be like $1 billion industry that's really gonna change people's lives and benefit and touch so many people, when I started sharing about being someone who can create these kinds of courses and give back to people in such a different way and really help people transform their lives, do you think everyone was on board with that? Absolutely not. I received a lot of hate for even discussing these kinds of ideas. I still have haters now, I'll be honest, who just can't get on board with what I'm doing. They don't like it. And a lot of that is because it's actually breaking their perception of what they might feel they're capable of doing themselves. People don't like knowing, not everyone, but some people don't like knowing that a girl like me, who was a drug addict, a high school dropout just a few years ago, now has a $1 billion dream coming into creation at her fingertips, because it makes them feel a certain way about what they're doing with their lives, and how there's really no excuses for going after their big dreams, not letting their fears or blockages stop them or get in the way, and actually just kind of taking real responsibility for their lives. The truth is that nowadays, when I talk about my dreams with people, including my family members, including my friends, social circles, people in church that I'm with, even people who have just met me, when I say some of those like really big things that I have planned, now they're on board. Everyone's on board. They believe me, they get excited, they cannot wait to see it happen, and they know that it will happen. And yes, that's partially because of some of the results that I've been able to produce already, but mostly it's because of the confidence I have in my own dreams and my own abilities. When you're sure about what it is that you want to do, what it is that you're here to fully achieve, manifest your purpose, your passions, some of your goals, and you stay hyper focused on that, quite frankly, you won't even have time to wonder about whether Aunt Martha, who always checks your stuff on Facebook and puts you down at Thanksgiving about your weird ideas, all of that, you won't even have time to think about what she's gonna think of this. Who cares? Who cares if someone in your life can't see the full vision yet? Because the point is, you can see it. And if you can see it, then you can create this path to go forward and achieve it. Yes, might be a little bit upsetting that that person spouse, bestie, friend, family member isn't on board with you right now, that they can't celebrate you in the way you want to be celebrated, but this shouldn't dictate how you choose to proceed with that passion and that dream of yours. If you just keep doing it, they'll see it for themselves. You can even prove them wrong, maybe. That makes it that little bit more satisfying, perhaps. And part of that is actually you loving them. It's you opening up a door and showing them, hey, these are some of the things that are actually truly possible for us, and perhaps for someone like them too, who has some of them, those blockages that I talked about. Probably, if you're tuning into this, you're someone like me who's more in the boat of feeling inspired by other people than comparing yourself or trying to shut them down or anything like that. When I see people in the world creating these multi-billion-dollar businesses that help other people, I don't start coming up with ways to like hate on that or complain about how much money they're making or those kinds of things. I'm like, that is so awesome. They had just a vision or a thought, and they followed their dreams so hard that they brought this entire thing to life, and then they were able to help so many people and create something like that. I want to do that. That now it's just a non-negotiable for me to surround myself with people who only encourage me to go even bigger, to take things to that next level, who are willing to correct my language and some of the ways I think when I say something, and they feel like it could be even more abundant or even more lucid in that sense, rather than, they'll catch me saying something like, oh, that feels really impossible, and they would change that for me and say, you know what, it's gonna be hard, but you're gonna achieve it, you'll be able to do it, right? But first and foremost, we have to believe in ourselves. So tell me, share with me, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, where are you at right now on that scale in terms of really believing in yourself, in your big dreams, in your visions, in your goals? Share with me in the comments where you feel like you are right now in this season of your life. Obviously, this number can fluctuate, it can change all the time, but I'm just talking about right now in this season of your life, today in particular. Share with me the number that you have. Let me have a little look. Yes, sometimes manifest in silence. Sometimes you gotta bring it inwards before you take it outwards. Okay. Great. So now I want you to share with me, how many people do you have in your life that you feel like you can talk about your big dreams and goals and visions and your purpose with, that those people who can help you move closer towards a 10? And just so I can tell the difference in your response, right? The number and people, like I have 3 people I can do that with, or however many people after the number, so that I know you're answering this question and not the one that I just asked you before. I'll be honest, I have a lot more people now, but when I was getting started, I really didn't have all that many people in my life who I felt comfortable like sharing some of those really bigger dreams that I had, sharing any of those bigger visions and goals with. I kept it pretty private because of a lot to do with the reason that we're talking about today, because of people who are dream killers, where you get all this negative feedback or you get other people's projections, and that would then make me kind of start second guessing myself and make me feel nervous or even sometimes feel guilty about wanting to dream something really big into creation. But now that I have groups like this, now that I have groups like the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab, it's a totally different story. I've created these safe communities of people who have your best interest at heart, who want to support each other, who get excited about people's biggest visions, and that's honestly a game changer. If you don't have a coach or a best friend like that, or someone in your life, and you answered on the low end of like, I only have a couple of people who I can talk with, who I can celebrate with, seriously consider finding your tribe or investing in some kind of coaching program or masterclass or mastermind that includes a community of people just like this who do want to seriously celebrate with you, or people you can just talk with who have similar goals, they're on that same kind of path as you, or even better, people or a community where they're actually quite far ahead of you in that game, because then you're feeling constantly inspired, motivated to go even bigger, to dream bigger for yourself, and you see that next level and you have help in how to get there. Example of that for me is last year I was doing really well, but I knew I wasn't at my full potential. So I invested in a group mastermind. I'm going to share the price with you. It's crazy. I invested $36,000, which might sound insane to some of you, and I assure you it sounded even more insane to me personally, mostly because I didn't have that kind of money or anything close to that at all. I actually split it between a credit card of mine and my husband's credit card. Shout out to my incredible husband who lent me $25,000 and is one of my biggest cheerleaders, one of my biggest supporters. Don't worry, I paid him back. But I knew I needed to be in an environment. I was craving an environment where I could be that small fish. So I invested in this mastermind where most people in there were making well over $100,000, even on a monthly basis. Some people were making like $250,000 weeks in their business. It was crazy. But anyway, you can guess what happened to me that month when I went for it. I put myself in that environment, surrounded myself with people who could help me thrive and grow my dreams. I had my first $30,000 month. Then I moved into $10,000 to $20,000 weeks, then $10,000 days, and so on and so forth. But the community, investing in people with the kind of mindset, that $1 million mindset that I wanted to share in, was huge, a huge part of that. Showing up, being surrounded by people who know how to believe in your dream and know how to help you grow it. Never take advice from people who are outside of your field of expertise in that. They simply don't know, and that's the honest truth. And so whilst your dad or your spouse or your friend or whoever might have their opinion about what you're doing, if they're not in that field, if they don't have the experience or the knowledge to tell you otherwise, they're probably not the best person to go to for advice or sharing on what you're planning on doing. When my students say that they're making all these massive shifts and changes and everything's coming to fruition for them, but they're like, my husband doesn't get it, I tell them, for right now, just stop sharing the process with your husband and going to him for advice on this. Share with him your wins, share with him the things that are going to make him feel at ease. Come to me and come to the Lucid Entrepreneurs for the other stuff. Let us support you for now, and he will get it eventually, but just not right now. Does that make sense? Give me a yes in the comments in all caps if this message is coming through loud and clear for you, if this is something that you needed to hear and receive today, or maybe even for a while. So if you're hearing me share my story, if you're hearing me share my journey, and you're in a place where you know that you could really use that community who knows what it means to dream big, to get lucid, to do the deep work, to manifest, to take action, to move things into the dream and consciously cultivate them and enhance your skills and work on them and bring all the gold and the wisdom and the knowledge and all the things back into your waking life. If you're ready to wake up with that clarity, that motivation, that focus, that energy for taking action on your bigger dreams and your goals, and have people who are gonna hold you accountable and maybe kick you in the butt a little bit, or get you to properly kick yourself in the butt a little bit. Know all about that being a kickboxer. Then maybe you should think about joining one of those things, or joining us inside the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab. I would love to speak more with you if that sounds like an energetic match, or if you would just love to know more about what it involves and see if we're a good match for you or you're a good match for us. I'm gonna be opening up 3 new spots for our August 2022 summit enrollment this week. So if you have 30 minutes and you're curious about finding out more, comment the words "me please" or DM me the words "me please," and I will just send you the link to my calendar. There's limited spaces available, so like I said, it's just 3 people. If you snooze, you lose on this, honestly, but it's just an opportunity for me to see if I can support you inside the lab, if you'd be a great fit for the community we're creating. But I also have a ton of free resources as well that I can send you away with if not. So I promise either way, it's gonna be worth your time. To summarize, don't worry about what your dad, your spouse, your bestie, your friend, Carol at the office thinks about your big dreams and your visions right now. Don't worry about if your sister or your aunt on Facebook is gonna fully understand or comprehend your vision. Don't freak out if your long-term best friend thinks you are insane, shuts down the idea whenever you bring it up. They will get it over time. For now, just keep nurturing this dream on your heart. Even better, share it with someone. Like, I would love to hear it today, and start celebrating this with you, whether we decide to work together or not. But start sharing it with those special people that you maybe mentioned, the minority 2 or 3. Start dreaming big for yourself, believing in yourself, and other people will get on board. All right, I need to hop off here and hop into a lucid dreaming coaching session right now. So follow me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all the things of your social media desires. I do a little bit of different content on each of the platforms. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to watch the previous episodes in this series as well. I will not be live here next week. I'm going to be going live on Instagram with my incredible friend Lana and coach, who is going to be talking with me about lucid dreaming and manifestation. So definitely follow me on Instagram if you aren't already. My tag is @Lana Sackwild, my name, and block off next Tuesday 9th at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 10 a.m. PST, and 1 p.m. EST. Look at me with all the time zones. That is how you know I have students in 15 different countries worldwide. So join us for that live session then on lucid dreaming and manifestation. All right, I hope this was super helpful for you today. I hope it was inspiring. I hope that this message was something that you needed to hear and that came through. I believe if you are here, that it was. Let me know your biggest takeaway if you had one from this. Let me know if you enjoyed the session, what came up for you, feelings, thoughts, emotions, what you're feeling like doing next. Other than that, I'm wishing you an incredible week full of even bigger dreams, lucidity, and abundance. Love you.
It's life-changing, both personally and professionally.
The process of really stepping into the next level of my entrepreneurship in ways that I hadn't even realized I was blocked. Because the dream world reveals to you not only what's possible, but also what maybe is hidden.
But I've learned so much about how lucid dreams can benefit my future and my business, and it's been such an exciting adventure already, and I cannot wait to continue on.
I love the way she structured the course and how it's so clear and kind of step by step. So for a complete novice like me, who only really had a very vague idea of what lucid dreaming actually was, it felt really accessible.
I feel more focused on exactly where I want to go. And I am so grateful to be part of this course. It will change your life. It will change your mindset. It will give you tools you never knew you wanted. Like, it's seriously amazing.
But I have to say that Lana is an amazing teacher of the class, and I would suggest anybody taking it. It's definitely scholarly, like college level kind of course, and it's an 8-week program. So check it out.
Even if simply on a one-on-one basis in her dream coaching, I think that's extremely valuable.
If you are on the fence, if you are thinking about getting into your dream life, I suggest getting Lucid with Lana.